What's up, everybody? Welcome to the newest episode of the Debate Mates. I am Matthew Swanberg, and I'm honored to be joined again by the GOAT, Nathan Poplin.
What's up, guys?
So, in today's video, we are going to be discussing the NBA trade deadline, about a week removed from what is the most active deadline probably of all time. So, we're going to go through 30 teams. We're going to do this as quick as possible, like a minute to a minute and a half per team. For the bad teams, obviously, a lot less than that. And we're going to just quickly review every deal or the big deals and where these teams stand after the deadline. Before we do that, make sure to like this video, subscribe if you're new, share this with your friends and family because everybody loves the Debate Mates, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Debate Mates. Now, let's get into it. We got our first group of teams here, which is titled Just Here for the Picks. These guys did absolutely nothing, really. They made some small moves, some minor moves, but nothing worthy of spending too much time on it.
No, or nothing really to warrant moving their standing up into the rankings from where they currently are.
Right. And these are teams that going into the deadline didn't really have any goals of making big swings. They're teams that are happy to make a plan, but if they don't, no big deal. And those are your Pistons, who got in James Wiseman. They like to rehabilitate a young number two centers like Marvin Bagley and now James Wiseman. You got your Rockets, Spurs, who are on a 13-game losing streak, the Thunder, the Jazz, who took in Westbrook. We'll get to the Lakers later. The Hornets, who got rid of Mason Plumlee. Magic, who got rid of Mo Bamba, got back Patrick Beverley. He's gone. And the Indiana Pacers, who just took in a lot of old Milwaukee Bucks players and are going to waive them all. Worth noting anything in any of these teams?
No, not really. I mean, outside of the Magic, I think the only thing you forgot to mention was the departure of Terrence Ross, who's been there for probably like what seven, 8 seasons. He's been there for a while.
I wonder because Mo Bamba was probably their second longest tenured player behind Patrick Beverley with how, or not Patrick Beverley, Mo Bamba with how often the Magic trade up and trade around. So I'd be interested to see who the longest tenured player is. We'll search that up maybe a little bit later.
Well, other than that, no. The Pistons, I thought the Sadiq deal was bad. I mean, I thought they should have kept Sadiq because I definitely don't think Wiseman's impact's going to make it that big of a difference. As Sadiq was nice for this team, and also you already have Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart, who I like currently a lot better.
But they can play
Wiseman
the 4 and 5 together.
I mean, I guess but like, is Wiseman is he going to at this point we think turn into what a number 2 overall pick should look like?
Well, there's no better place to find out than Detroit. Because there's no stakes over there. Pistons, I agree, should have kept Sadiq Bey. They're a team that needs young guys who want to take shots, and Sadiq Bey is a young guy who really likes to take shots. Moving on, this is our category of there was a trade deadline. Why didn't we hear about this? And those are your Miami Heat, your Chicago Bulls, your Atlanta Hawks, who made a minor deal. They were the team that brought in Sadiq Bey. The Kings, who did nothing. The Cavs, who did nothing, but it's fine because it's justifiable because their summer trade was huge.
They bring in Danny Green, but I mean, like they're a pretty competitive team,
right? And that was on the buyout market. They didn't ship anything out. The Pelicans, who just picked up Josh Richardson to kind of ensure that front court because OJ and Anunoby stayed put.
Yeah,
that's a theme you're going to see with a lot of these trades later on. Is a lot of guys just went out and said, "Oh shoot, no more OG Anunoby on the market. Give me another 3-and-D wing."
Yeah. Well, I definitely thought. I think me and you both thought OG Anunoby would have been moved by the deadline.
Shocking,
kind of surprising to me. Yeah.
And then we got the Wizards, who made the Rui Hachimura trade kind of before all the chaos ensued, a few days before the deadline. So yeah, anything worth noting in these teams?
The Bulls definitely should. I thought should have made some kind of move. And they didn't. And like they're definitely one. If we had to describe like losers of this trade deadline, I'd say the Bulls. They're a struggling team right now. I mean, the only thing they could really do at this point is maybe bring in Westbrook, which I don't know if it's on the card is in the card for them.
I mean, the Bulls are one of the worst 3-point shooting teams.
Yeah, I mean, and you add Russell Westbrook to that. I mean, he was nice off the bench for the Lakers, but does he bring anything really special to this Bulls team to elevate them? Absolutely not. If anything, the shooting percentage on the floor when he's on the floor diminishes completely. So excellent. The Hawks, they didn't do much. They brought in Sadiq Bey, and I believe they only had to ship out the 5 second-round picks that were used.
Whole lot of second-round picks.
Second-round picks. Yeah. By the way, guys, second-round picks were flying.
How many in 24 hours?
24 hours was 43 second-round picks.
Second-round picks
in 24 hours, which is absolutely insane. But I mean, that's a nice little pickup for that Hawks front court. So I think that's a big plus in their favor. But does it really change much? No, but it's still a talented team. I don't know. Other than that, like the Kings are doing just fine. Cavs are doing just fine. Pelicans are doing just fine. The Wizards are the Wizards.
Yeah. If we were going over all these teams with a fine-tooth comb and grading them all, I would have not the Bulls, the Miami Heat as probably my big loser from the trade deadline.
True, yeah, they were pretty
because
bad,
the
too.
Kings' time isn't now, the Cavs' time's not now, the Pelicans' time's not now. Even the Hawks, they're pretty young. They still got the next 5-6 years to compete. Wizards are in a bit of a rebuild, but at least they got guys like Kuzma who can kind of herald in that new age.
Gafford.
Bulls
Yeah.
have at least the assets to make some moves. I mentioned the Hawks already, but the Heat, they're getting older. They don't have a whole lot of exceptional young talent, and they're just watching as the rest of the teams in the league pass them by. And that's what they just did now.
Yeah.
They didn't go after Kyrie. They might go after Westbrook. I guess that's a fine consolation prize, but he doesn't move the needle at all. In fact, he might make them worse. Lowry's regression has been terrible for the Heat, and they don't seem to want to lock in during the regular season at all, and they're not good enough to lock in during the postseason and actually
especially not
do
now.
anything.
Absolutely, you're correct.
And basically, right now, they're too far behind the Cavs unless they fall off a cliff to get any sort of home court advantage. And they're not good enough to win 3-4 straight series on the road.
Do you think they were more of a disappointment than the Chicago Bulls were this trade deadline? Were the Heat the ultimate loser?
I think so, because the Heat came into this season. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, Game 7, a Jimmy Butler three-pointer away from maybe competing for an NBA championship. You come into this season as a Bulls fan with aspirations of contending once again. And instead, like I just said, you're sitting and watching teams that got really aggressive, the Mavericks, the Nets, or not the Nets, excuse me, the Suns, the Knicks, even the Raptors. You're watching teams that are behind you in the standings, behind you originally on the contention list, who are actually getting aggressive and making moves to win a championship.
They at least try to make themselves better and try to better themselves.
I don't know what the Heat are waiting for. It's not like Jimmy Butler's 25. Are they? Yeah. Who are they waiting out right now? I don't get it. I don't know.
Pat Riley, it is very questionable. I would have liked to have seen them make a move at the deadline. It would have been nice to see something. Other than that, not much else to discuss, I don't think, in this category.
Moving on to insurance. These are the rich getting richer. Insurance, by the way, is spelled with an I, not an E.
Yeah. As you found out today.
I found out today. I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but I don't want people to think I'm an idiot. I spelled it E.
Yeah, it was a simple.
And then and then Nate said you spelled it wrong, and I said it doesn't start with an I because I thought I wrote an I.
Yeah, that was an capital E, my man.
So
no, you're fine.
I don't know. Maybe that makes me seem worse because that makes it seem like my mind is leaving.
No,
me.
I think everyone in our audience everyone's had a slip up like that where they just felt so stupid. It wasn't even really that stupid. I mean, you could have spelled it a lot worse than you did.
That's true. Anyways, insurance. The rich getting richer. You got your Denver Nuggets, brought in Thomas Bryant. You got your Boston Celtics, brought in the Moose, Mike Muscala. You got your Milwaukee Bucks. Mm-hmm. One of my winners at the deadline. Brought in the 3-and-D god himself, Jay Crowder. Got the Grizzlies. Brought in the old Nard dog, Luke Kennard.
Which I was a fan of that move in particular. Not a winner by any means, but I kind of like the fit, honestly.
You got the 76ers, brought in Jalen McDaniels.
Mm-hmm. Nice young piece.
Did you know that Jalen McDaniels and Jaden McDaniels were two different people?
Of course I do.
Who knows?
I'm not a casual Matthew, I know.
And then you got the Warriors, who I know what you're thinking. They're not really good enough to just shore up their rotation because they're not even locked into a playoff spot right now. But the Warriors did what the Warriors like to do, which is stay packed at the deadline, rely on the stars to carry them, even though Curry's out for a while. And they brought back old GP2.
It's a formula that's worked up so far, so why doubt it again? So yeah, I don't have much worry for the Warriors. Kind of sucks though that they have to file this complaint against the Blazers for this. Yeah. It's an unfortunate situation.
And Gary Payton's going to be out for 2 months.
Which is just unfortunate. And they gave up. I mean, they gave up 5 seconds, which is a large amount of seconds. Nothing super crazy, but still, I would have liked to have seen him make an immediate impact on this team if you're going to throw out 5 seconds more him. And now he's at 2 months, and I wish him a speedy recovery because he was nice on this team. So I'm glad to see him back. But yeah, the rich just keep getting richer.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when we're talking about the Nuggets. I actually really liked the on their side the Thomas Bryant deal.
Yeah, you had them as one of your winners.
Yeah, well, and like Reggie Jackson. We'll talk about Thomas Bryant first. Thomas Bryant, I give that trade like a B because he's not a superstar by any means, but that's some nice bench depth at your center position to come in after Jokic. I think defensively, he really does nothing for this team. But, I mean, offensively, it's a guy who can get a bucket. We know he can get a bucket. Unfortunately, at 6'11", I'd like for him to play defense. But, it is what it is. Right. And then Reggie Jackson is quite old at this point, but he could still get you a bucket off the bench. And he's very tenacious, very, very good player. He's a bulldog, man. He's who Pat Bev wishes he still was. On
I don't
God.
know about that. Very different players.
Hey, I wish I was Reggie Jackson.
I wish I were Reggie
I wish
Jackson
I
too.
was
He's
Reggie
very
Jackson.
rich and he's in the NBA.
So yeah, I mean, this is the best team in the West currently, and they added two at least. I mean, like whatever you say about Reggie Jackson, I think it's at least a solid piece. So when it comes to the Nuggets, I think it was solid moves all around. Didn't give up too much.
Yeah,
So
I would agree with you there. I think the Nuggets got a little bit stronger. I think the Bucks got more stronger than the Nuggets, though. I really like the pickup of Jay Crowder because
it makes sense. The fit makes sense.
Thomas Bryant, he's so bad at defense, he might not get minutes during the playoffs. A lot of these buyout boys like Reggie Jackson, they look good on paper, but then they also don't really get a whole lot of minutes in the playoffs. Jay Crowder is someone that should come in and have an instant impact and will be playing fourth quarters down the stretch in the playoffs, maybe even final series, Eastern Conference final series, because he's got the resume where he's done it before. And if he comes back and looks like he's in good shape, maybe he steals some minutes away from a Pat Connaughton, a Grayson Allen coming into the playoffs because he can maybe be a little bit more consistent and
Yeah,
slightly better on defense. So I think this move actually moves the needle more than any of the other moves we've covered so far because he's actually going to play.
Fair. Yeah.
And otherwise, Celtics getting Muscala. I think a lot of Celtics fans think that he's actually going to get playoff minutes, even though we kind of just thought of that as a little insurance for some shooting in the front court. Luke Kennard, a fine piece, doesn't move the needle too much.
Not too much, but I really like Luke Kennard, and I think it's a solid fit for the Grizzlies, and like some extra shooting off your bench, So I think it's solid all the way around. In terms of the Sixers, I guess the really last team in this category we have to talk about. I like the acquisition of Jalen McDaniels. I think it's nice. They move on from Matisse Thybulle, who I don't know. I guess I wished he had done more for this team.
I wish he could give him a bigger role.
Yeah, I do like Matisse. I'm not saying he's a superstar, but I like the way he plays, and I like his. I mean, he's a defensive monster. First of all,
right?
Questionable on
hit 4 threes against the Lakers. Not last night, the night prior.
So yeah, and I hope he does better on. I hope he gets more minutes. I think we both hope he gets more minutes on his team, which we'll talk about here in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and they added Dwayne Dedmon in the buyout market, or was he bought out? I can't remember if Dwayne Dedmon was
trade. He got rid of him, but then he got bought out by the Spurs. So I guess you're right.
I mean, yeah. So forgive me, it's Dwayne Dedmon.
Yeah,
it's like when Bismack Biyombo. I was like,
were you watching the game when Dwayne Dedmon threw the machine gun? Whoa, jeez Louise. Were you here when Dwayne, or not here? Were you watching the game when Dwayne Dedmon threw the Theragun? Little therapy gun.
No, he threw a Theragun.
Yeah, onto the court. Got ejected. It was crazy.
Yeah, you can't just throw on the court, bro.
I don't remember who they were playing, but it was nuts, and he got ejected.
That's the kind of player I want on my team. The Celtics should have gotten
championship guy.
That's championship material right there. Deserves a ring.
Good locker room guy.
Good locker room.
From what I hear,
I can go to war with that guy with those Theraguns and risk getting ejected.
You can go to a literal war with him. He comes armed apparently.
With a Theragun.
With a Theragun. He's a violent guy.
Violent.
Moving on. These are teams that made small moves. They're kind of just the mid getting midder. Really.
We have the rich getting richer of the mid getting midder.
Like they're not winning a championship this year, but it's fun to look at on paper. You got your Lakers. Sorry, Lakers fans, we have them kind of low on here. We got your Blazers. We got your New York Knicks, who I feel bad calling mid because they're actually contending this year for a play-in spot or playoff spot. And the Raptors, who are contending for a play-in spot, and got Jakob Poeltl. You like this Lakers move, right?
I thought there were some solid pieces. Like I think not necessarily is D'Lo like coming back like all the hype. Absolutely not. But yeah, it's come full circle. He's bounced from the Nets then to the Warriors for a little bit. Then the T-Wolves, where we thought he was gonna make some magic, with his boy Karl-Anthony Towns, who's besties with him and D-Book, and for the longest time it would have been cool to see D-Book on that team, but of course that was never gonna happen. Not in the realm of possibility. But yeah, it's full circle. He's back, and I think he's solid. And then of course they got Devon Reed in a second back for Thomas Bryant, which I thought was idiotic. But I think the acquisition of Jared Vanderbilt and Malik Beasley is what I like about this move. Nothing special about either of them, but I think from depth a depth perspective.
Yeah.
The depth perspective, I think, Beasley brings you some nice scoring, and then Jared Vanderbilt does what he does best. He's really good defensively. And I'm not saying the Lakers. I'm not saying the Lakers are going to move to like a top 5 seed because they're not.
Right.
Absolutely no way. I mean,
they have to go 7 games above 500 for the rest of the year to even finish above 500 right now. They're 6 games under. That 2-10 start really killed them. I like this roster because it's closest to their 2020 bubble championship. It's their 2 stars surrounded by actual guys who deserve to be in the league and not Matt Ryan, who they literally got off of DoorDash.
Hey, he came from the Celtics, man. What are you talking about? God tier player.
But still, nonetheless, this doesn't really move the needle. It's not getting them into the playoffs, unfortunately. Probably not. It gets them better.
I just like them on this team. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah,
I really view that this is positive. And then Rui, I like the acquisition of Rui too.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the D'Angelo Russell thing real quick
all right, try take 2. Go back to D'Lo.
So Lakers draft D'Angelo Russell. He's been traded to the Nets for the number 27 overall pick.
Okay.
Number 27 overall pick is used to draft Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma is traded for Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is traded for D'Angelo Russell.
Oh, that's what you meant by full circle.
That's what I meant by full circle. Time is a flat circle. There you go. Took me a second, but I got to it.
Did you say a flat circle? You mean Kyrie's view of the earth?
Exactly. Well, no, he doesn't even think it's a circle, right? Or I guess it'd still be a circle.
I mean, like,
it's just not a globe. It's still a
if
circle.
he thinks it's flat, it wouldn't be a sphere, it'd be a freaking circle. He thinks the earth is just this flat circle, just vibing.
Anyways, we'll get to Kyrie's team a little bit later.
We'll get to Kyrie.
I want to hit on the Raptors real quick. Small move, no chip. I think they had my favorite move in this group, even though I really do like Josh Hart. Quick little side note here. I don't know if you all saw the video, but after Jalen Brunson was notified that the Knicks traded for Josh Hart, they were teammates at Villanova. He got super hyped, was going crazy. He got traded for Ryan Arcidiacono. Ryan Arcidiacono played at Villanova with Jalen Brunson. And it was with Jalen Brunson with this news broke.
Yeah.
Imagine I got traded off of the debate mates, and it was for somebody else. And I was sitting here with you when it happened. And you were like, "Oh, let's go. Yeah, we got Coach Z back. Let's go."
It's pretty savage if you ask
me. Anyways, I feel bad for Ryan Arcidiacono. But
he knows what he is. He's a journeyman. Nothing more, nothing less.
But back to the Raptors. Jakob Poeltl gives the Raptors what they've been missing all season long, which is a center presence. I think he elevates this team a lot. I don't know what it is about me, but I'm never going to give up on the Raptors. I like Nick Nurse. I like Siakam.
I agree. It's a very well-run and well-coached organization, regardless of how much talent they have. They have talent nonetheless.
I mean, a little bit weird, I guess, that Jakob Poeltl was moved when he is on an expiring deal. Mm-hmm. So the Raptors kind of gave up a lot for him. They gave up a couple picks, including the first. But if he makes him better this season, I think he'd want to come back because he's an old Toronto Raptors guy.
I'm glad to see him back on this team. I definitely could see him staying with this team. I mean, if I were him, I'd stay with the team.
Yeah.
Honestly, they bring me back, and so I think he will make an impact, and I like what I've seen out of him so far. So yeah, so I think you're correct. I think it's a good move. And I like Matisse to the Blazers. On what's the word? If he gets the minutes, I think he should be getting.
Okay.
It's a better move. And then Cam Reddish is not bad, and he gives some depth. So I didn't hate what the Blazers did. Of course, would I rather have Josh Hart over Cam Reddish? Absolutely. But still, I mean, maybe Cam Reddish may get some minutes. Probably not. We talked about that too. He probably won't get minutes. Like he wants. He gets traded to another situation where he's not going to get the minutes he wants. Man's going to be out of the league probably unless he just is satisfied with his limited role he's going to have from here on out, or proves himself worthy of minutes. But I didn't mind the Blazers deals either. And then the Knicks adding Josh Hart, nice depth piece. They're a really solid team.
Tibbs is gonna love him because he gets rebounds and he plays hard.
He plays hard, and that's really all that matters. That's the identity of this team. This team hustles and plays hard, and it's a fun team to watch. Unfortunately, they're, like I say time and time again, they're the New York Knicks, and they'll find a way to screw something up.
On to the next group of teams. We have the teams that just went out and got some guards. We got the Los Angeles Clippers, who brought back Eric Gordon. They shipped John Wall back to Houston, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I had just watched a clip where John Wall was talking about when he first got traded to the Rockets, and how awful it was, and how much he hated it.
And he's back.
And now he's back. He can't escape. So
they got
his fate.
They got the OG Clipper, Eric Gordon. They got Bones Highland. Those were their two big moves.
Who
and
seems to be ready to be a dog, is what he sounds. It sounds like he's tweeting out. He's ready to be a dog.
They also brought in Mason Plumlee to ensure that, or to get some insurance for that back line rotation.
Another goat.
And then the Timberwolves brought in Mike Conley. If you don't mind, I want to get us started on this one because I have the Timberwolves as one of my winners of the deadline because Mike Conley is finally going to be that piece that gets Rudy Gobert involved. I think he's way too underutilized as an offensive player. He's a great pick and roll lob threat, and D'Angelo Russell did not want to run that with Rudy Gobert. Apparently, he was telling other players on his team, on other teams, in the media, I don't like Rudy Gobert. This guy's kind of garbage. I don't want to play with him. And you can't have a guy like that in the locker room when you gave so much of your future away to get Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, of course. You gotta have someone who's open and willing to play and not bring everybody down.
Yeah,
that's just like a negative Nancy. Like,
so
why not?
Mike Conley will bridge that gap. He's gonna get Rudy Gobert involved. He's gonna defer to Anthony Edwards. I think he's kind of what the Heat thought Kyle Lowry was going to be for them, except Mike Conley still has a little bit more left in the tank. I can see the Timberwolves moving up to grab a playoff spot right now. And for the Clippers, Bones Highland doesn't make them a championship team this year. I was hoping they were going to go out and get somebody a little bit more bona fide as a starter to get that point guard role back. But it is what it is. This isn't going to be their year, I don't think.
No.
Another year that's not their year.
Yeah, but when is going to be their year? They're running another team that is just running out of time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And you hate to see it, but yeah, there's not much I have to say about the Clippers. Interesting moves, but nothing truly significant.
Yep.
Like Mike Conley, the Wolves is T-Wolves is much more significant than Bones Highland plus Eric Gordon and Mason Plumlee. Sorry, Clippers fans. We have Clippers fans watching.
So on to our next three teams. Our last three teams. We've done a pretty good job here so far, keeping this quick.
Yeah, I think so. I think we have nice, quick, and concise. So get our points across.
The Suns. Do we want to go to Matt? Let's go Mavs, then let's go Suns.
All right, let's go Mavs first. I think this is an absolute W for the Mavericks. I mean, you gave away quite a bit of draft capital, but you really only had to give away Spencer Dinwiddie, and you may lose some of that defensive intensity from Dorian Finney-Smith. That was a bigger loss to me than Spencer Dinwiddie was. Certainly. Absolutely. But and this is contingent for me. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Contingent.
There you go.
Contingent on if Kyrie stays, because if Kyrie just says screw this and then goes and plays with Kevin Durant next season, I mean, like, what was the point?
Brian Windhorst said that Kyrie isn't done with Kevin Durant. They're done with Brooklyn.
Yeah, exactly. And so how is that going to make Luka Doncic feel? I mean, he's going to be even more frustrated and exacerbated than he already is. So I'm kind of hoping Kyrie likes it in the Mavericks. He's played really good for them so far, and I hope it continues. It's given Luka when he actually plays a bona fide stud to play next to,
even though they're 0-2 together.
Yeah, I don't think that lasts much longer.
Not going to last.
But no, that is a deadly backcourt, when Kyrie does his thing. But yeah, contingent on if he stays in the offseason. What do you have to say about the Mavericks?
I think this has a couple ways it can go. It can go that, and the most likely way it goes, I fear, is the Mavericks flame out in the playoffs this year. Kyrie leaves, and Luka is left more barren and alone than he has ever been since he's been a member of the Dallas Mavericks. Because Dorian Finney-Smith was his guy. He's gone. Boban Marjanovic was his guy. He's gone. So this could potentially be really bad, and they could potentially be looking at the face of the franchise, potentially the face of the league, saying, I'm done. I've had enough with Dallas. Mm-hmm. You've screwed away all of my second options, and now I'm left here alone.
And we gave away 4 firsts. I mean, and our future's damaged now, and it's risk. So a big, incredibly risky move from the Mavericks.
But on the bright side, Jalen Green looks awesome. Or not Jalen Green, sorry. Josh Green looks awesome. He's filling into that Dorian Finney-Smith role quite well. He's better offensively, more dynamic, and he's similarly gifted on defense. I really like him moving up into that starting lineup.
Yeah, it's nice to see a guy that we really wanted to get more minutes and let shine actually start shining and proving his work. So that's happy.
And this team, even though their last 2 losses have been by single digits, one of them going to overtime and the last one just being a close game with the Timberwolves.
Yeah,
they're going to kill teams in the clutch. If they're within 5 or within 5 minutes left, it's a tie game, 5-point game, whatever. You're not going to want to play the Mavericks. And come playoff time, they're going to be incredibly dangerous because that's 2 guys in Luka and Kyrie that know how to get it done in the half court, in the mid range, by the basket, from the 3-point line. They're going to be assassins come the playoff time, I think.
I agree.
And this team could go conference finals, but I think they peak at conference finals, to be honest.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, if they have to go against someone like a Nuggets, I don't necessarily have them beating the Nuggets, a very talented team.
And what if they had to go against the Phoenix Suns, the final team on our list? I mean, we'll get to the Nets probably at the end because that's where everything got dumped to in these 2 trades. Do you mind if I start with the Phoenix Suns?
Go for it. Talk about
Because
your boy. Your boy is a Sun now.
I know what you guys are thinking. How was I able to bite my tongue for so long and not say anything about the Kevin Durant trade? Because we're 25 minutes into this video now, and I haven't said his name yet. Jeez Louise.
Shows discipline.
Shows discipline. The Suns are gonna be pretty hard to eliminate in the playoffs, I think.
I just remember the first thing I thought to myself when this deal went down, outside of the initial shock, was they really got to keep D-Book and Ayton and CP3 and get one of the greatest players in the world. Time. One of the greatest scorers we've one of all time. Sure. One of the greatest scorers, pure scorers we've ever seen in the game. And it sucks losing Miles Bridges and Cam Johnson, but you get Kevin freaking Durant on this Suns team. And what a team this is about to be.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember. They have a new nickname. It's the mid-range mafia. That's what they're calling them. Chris Paul, KD, DeAndre Ayton, and Devin Booker working in that mid-range. Talk about a team that knows how to work in the mid-range, like I just said the Mavs do. Jeez, these guys are going to be killing teams from that mid-range spot. I know 3 is greater than 2, but their 2-pointers fall a lot more than most other guys' 3-pointers do.
Absolutely.
They got to work on their depth. I know I said earlier that the buyout boys don't normally make much of a difference, but this team's going to need some buyout boys. They're going to need some Terrence Rosses coming their way. They're going to need a Serge Ibaka to come down to old Phoenix. They might need to work out an old DeMarcus Cousins and see if he's still got anything left in the tank.
Yeah, the depth off the bench is a little bit of a concern, but not too much of a concern.
I mean, as long as CP3, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and DeAndre Ayton are on the floor, they're going to have the best lineup in the NBA.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Without
no competition, I would say. Durant just elevates this team to a whole nother level. Matt Ishbia, one of the greatest I'm him moves of all time, got his introductory press conference on, I guess, Tuesday because this trade was late Wednesday night. 24 hours later says, you know what? I want to get Kevin Durant on this team. And he does it. Hats off to him, the new owner of the Phoenix Suns, for getting that done. They're going to be awesome. I'm so excited to watch this team at full strength because Kevin Durant has got to be, the way he's played this year, in that conversation for the best player in the world. Devin Booker was playing at an MVP caliber level before he got hurt with his hamstring injury. Chris Paul, I think this might be the boost he needs to get rejuvenated for a deep playoff run, because his career was looking like it was definitely on the downward spiral after the Suns made the finals, and then he kind of I'm trying to think of the word to replace a word. Went to the bathroom in the bed, I guess would be the way to say it. In the series against the Mavericks, did not play very well there and hasn't looked the same since. But you're telling him that he gets to play with Kevin Durant now. I think his legs might go from 37 to 35 for a couple of months, just for that excitement.
Well, I mean, on account of his addiction.
Right, of course, his addiction to playing the finals.
Yeah.
So what's your take here on the Suns trade? Are you scared as a Celtics fan that the Suns are coming for that Larry O.B.?
I mean, do I have to be a little bit because it's Kevin Durant. Talk about the rich getting richer. I mean, we said that in an earlier category, but I mean, this is a talented team who just got Kevin Durant. I mean, like, anywhere Kevin Durant goes puts any other team in the league on notice, regardless of conference. So, am I worried about meeting them in the finals? Potentially, yes. They make me a little nervous, but I do think the one thing that's going to hold them back from making it, say, over at Nuggets is the depth. I'm sorry, the Nuggets have the depth that the Suns right now I don't think match.
I do want to bring this point up, though. Let's look at the other good teams in the West. Nuggets don't have anyone who's guarding Kevin Durant or Devin Booker. Grizzlies don't have anyone who's guarding Kevin Durant or Devin Booker.
How dare you disrespect Aaron
Mavericks don't have anyone who's guarding Kevin Durant or Devin Booker. Kings don't have anyone that's guarding Kevin Durant or Devin Booker. Warriors do, but they might not even need to worry about the Warriors. They're so far down right now. Timberwolves, Jaden McDaniels, excuse me. Nice defensive piece. Anthony Edwards can play defense when he try. But we're talking Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. And also, the Suns are just all around better than the Timberwolves. These guys are hard to cover as is, but there are no teams in the West that have like deep rotations of wing defenders anymore. And that's why I'm surprised no one swung out for an OG Anunoby after this trade happened.
Yeah.
Because there are going to be a lot of teams that are going to be saying, we don't have an elite guy to put on Booker or Durant. And that's going to get the Suns pretty far in the playoffs, I think. That's going to be a big factor as to why they probably make a finals run.
I mean, it would be, God, what a fun series.
A lot of fun series.
It's just a fun team. I can't wait also, till they're at full strength. So I get to watch this team in action.
Yep.
Because I never thought my wildest days, like you heard the rumors of the Suns potentially making a move. And I even heard the Mavericks make a move for Kyrie. Did I think either was going to actually happen? No. But here we are. I'm excited to see how it goes. and then even the potential of possibly adding Kyrie Irving to that team next year would be
It'd be crazy.
absolutely insane.
It
Oh
would
my
be
god,
crazy.
what a like I said though to you earlier, what a small backcourt that would be. That would be the thing on everybody's mind is, good God, what a short old backcourt.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna call it there. Hopefully we talked about everything we wanted to talk about. I think we got all of our points in. Kept it short, kept it quick, and hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time on the debate. See you next time on the debate, mates.
Bye guys.